Formula 1 returns to the Red Bull Ring in Austria for round 10 of the 2019 season of the race that marks the halfway point in the 2019 championship. A race which can often throw up mixed results due to it being a track that requires power, but also good car balance and downforce through the technical middle sector. So often it can be a car that has the better balance, that outright straight line speed, which can come off in qualifying. However, in the race, if a driver can keep in clutch with the cars that are running more downforce, they should be able to make easy moves on the straights. However, with the cars also that are naturally low in drag, such as the Williams, Toyota and Alfa Romeo, they could possibly run a little bit higher wing to have better balance, which should overall give them a better pace advantage. And this is what Toyota were practicing all throughout most of the 3 practice sessions. The cars being naturally fast, so working most on balance to get the best out of the car and out of the tyres, as well as tyre wear could play a factor come to the race. Alfa Romeo though chose to go all guns blazing in terms for straight line speed. And of course, with the cars being maximum velocity with speed through the speed traps, this would make them though much of a handful to handle through the technical middle sector of the lap. And this is what Josh Cheer would have found out early on during his running in FP1. Coming into turn 3, the front of the Alfa Romeo car just not gripping with the circuit, and he ran out wide onto the grass, just avoiding the gravel, although no damage to the car thankfully would be done. McLaren though came into this race going for more of a neutral setup, so also McLaren's or Alfa Romeo's main rivals in the championship as things stand, with their car being naturally nipping straight line. They're expecting that this should be okay if they can run a more neutral balance with the car setup. Josh Taylor though, his adventures won over in FP1, with final limits of the track coming through turn 1. The rear of the car was completely snapped away from the 2016 World Champion. He'd take out a DRS polystyrene board, but somehow they would avoid contact with the wall after this spin. He'd put on a lot more downforce on his setup. Red Bull though came into this race as a dark horse and maybe even outside favourites, with some new Honda upgrades for both Toro Rosso and Red Bull, defining to take the first victory at their home race. Sure though, despite the pace of the Haas BMW, could only manage 20th place, and an absolute shocker from Daniel Kvyat, one of the 3 championship contenders, sees him on the back row of the grid. Alex Albon in the Toro Rosso starts from P18 despite Honda's new upgrades, and a poor lap for Lando Norris sees the Brit start from 17th. Nico Kari starts directly in front of his teammate, but just couldn't quite make it out of Q1. Jean-Luc Vergne would get through into Q2, what would line up slowest in the session. Carl Hütter with an alright lap, all things considered, would line up in 14th place in the Haas, with Giovinazzi starting from P13 in the Alfa Romeo. His teammate Josh Cheer could go 1 place better. Start from 12th place, he starts alongside his nemesis of Rio Haryanto in the McLaren. 2 cars which are very fast in straight line speed complete row 5 of the grid, with Kamui Kobayashi in P10 and Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari starting from P9. 2 other cars which are running very low drag start from row 4, with Sebastian Vettel lead of the Ferraris from P8, making it all German row 4 is Hulkenberg in the Renault. All Red Bull row 3 would see Pierre Gasly start from P6, just getting pipped by Max Verstappen in the final minutes of Q3, who starts from 5th. Continuing the nose arc theme, it'll be the 2 BMW Williams who are running a bit more high downforce than what they were planning. Start from the second row of the grid, with Kubica 4th, Mick Schumacher 3rd. To leave an all-British front row, with Lewis Hamilton in P2 and George Russell taking his first ever career pole position. Hey guys, Renault here. Welcome back to the F1 UniONE career for round 10 here at the Austrian Grand Prix. And well, it's a bit breezy, good judging off by that flag, because the Austrian Grand Prix is a track which often throws up some of the most chaotic racing of each season. I mean, in 2015 we had Max Verstappen drive over the top of Alex Rossi in the Mana Marussia. We also had punctures as well for main drivers here over the past few years, but George Russell for his first ever career pole, and Nico Kari in P16, so quite contrasting fortunes for these two. But George Russell, surely can he convert pole position into the race win? Well, he's got a good start onto the formation lap at least. He hasn't stalled, so he can actually take his spot at the front of the grid at the end of this lap. It does also look like everyone else is getting away good as well. But George Russell, first ever career pole, and it couldn't come at a better time, since all the focus is going to be on him, since Daniel Kvyat's down in P19, and it's a very interesting top 3. George Russell, then Lewis Hamilton and Mick Schumacher in 3rd, and then the 2 Red Bulls lurking just behind the 2 front rows. And they've done well in qualifying as of late, but they haven't had the race pace. So if Red Bull have managed to work on their race pace, then they could be on for their first podium, dare I say even a win. But someone who's not going to be on for the win is Daniel Kvyat. P19. I don't know what happened to the Russian. He had an absolute mare, over a second off the pace of Q1, and nowhere near what his eventual pole position time set by his teammate would have been, of course, because everyone ups the engines in Q3. Looking to, so starting from P12, qualifying pace. Okay, our race pace is usually better, so at least I can start from inside the top 12, unlike what I did a few races ago back at Spain. So we're starting on the same road as Haryanto. This has got disaster written all over it, because no surprise. I think no surprise. It won't be surprised if he did squeeze me into a wall at some point. Coming to the far red lights for the start of the Austrian Grand Prix. Lights out and away we go. Looks like Russell has got away well from pole, covering there from Lewis Hamilton. Looks like been impressed of him, and now got one of the Haas Colin Hell looking for inside, going for a massive time, but still on side by side with one of the Toyotas, and there's a bit of contact there with Kobayashi from Colin Herter. They're thinking about just about got away without any damage. And everything else looks to be going away fairly okay. There you go, the run now though. Into turn 2, got the two Rebels going side by side, they're up in front, coming up now then into the corner. Going out, ready to go for a dive, we've got a Haas going for a dive as well, Stroll going for a dive as well. The Hasses, they've got nothing to lose really, and they're going for it now at the start here of the Austrian Grand Prix. We've got side by side here with our teammate Giovinazzi and Haryanto, I think. I can't quite see from this camera angle who's going side by side with, but I think it's the McLaren of Haryanto. Actually, no, it's the car behind them. It's Jean-Eric Verne in the Renault. And then we're all at the back then. Our teammate Giovinazzi, and it's Stroll all from the back of the grid to P16. So a good start to the race for the Canadian. In qualifying, hasn't been his strong point so far this season, but his lap 1 pace, and honestly, his lap 1 pace has been pretty good. The dive bombs he's been willing, or more like he's forced to make in a car which really isn't as competitive as Haas really would like. They really have struggled to understand their car for this year. As George Russell, unsurprisingly, leading the race, puts up the first lap of the race. Now we're going to start off with our teammate Giovinazzi, trying to get them running down the stable, but Gio is pulling away from us, so Gio running a low drag head of the we get very close to his rear wheel there, don't make contact. That little bit of contact there, that could puncture his tyre, lop off his rear wheel, or both. Then we've got Stroll falling away a little bit now, just showing the lack of pace, honestly, in that Haas car. You've got the Taurus there, and Nico Kari all over the back of him. And just corner Stroll though, with once again showing his prowess in defensive driving, ahead of Lando Norris and Alex Albon there in the other of the Tarossos. And now we've got Daniel Kvyat, who's dropped down into last place, and that might actually be tactical for now, because let all these cars fight it out to start with. These guys at the back, they've got nothing to lose. Daniel Kvyat, he's got everything to lose. He's in a much faster car, he's in one of the top 3 cars on the grid, so yeah, he's got plenty of pace to make his way through those slower cars, but he doesn't need to do it all on lap 2, so he's got another 34 laps of the race left yet, and he's probably on actual pace, probably about a second and a half or so quicker than the cars he's currently racing against. So he's got plenty of time here, doesn't need to do anything rash yet. But once again, it's George Russell who sits fast after the race, so showing the pace that the Mercedes car does have. So Daniel Kvyat should have a fairly easy time in a few laps time once he actually starts making his moves on the grid of cars in front. But then we've got side by side up in front of Giovinazzi here into turn 1. That's going to slow both of them down now. We've got Verne and Haryanto going side by side. They got squeezed out, but it's got DRS though, because of course those are now onto lap 3. We're looking very interested there in the back of teammate Giovinazzi as well. Now we get side by side with Haryanto coming up now into the corner. Haryanto goes for a dive back on the inside line, does he? Thinks about it, then backs out of it into the corner. We're now going to try and get side by side now with Indy. Once again, forcing us off the track. I knew that was coming. I'm so glad there's a run off like curb or like tarmac there. Our teammate Gio, nice one there, manages to make a move on Verne, and once again going to turn 3, going to squeeze Haryanto to the inside line and try and repay the favour to him. And then he's going to the inside line from the corner, he's going to block us out there through the exit of turn 3. We need to manage to keep the car on the track that time, because we bumped the downforce up from what we were running in first practice. So we're going to be, honestly, we're better through the corners than we are in straight line speed, but I think Prototype McLaren got a bit more of a neutral balance to the car now. As we've got Nico Kari looking very interested behind us, so that Tarosso also looks to be pretty good out of the corners as well, so maybe they've gone for a bit more higher wing, especially with the new Honda engine upgrades for this weekend as well. Probably can afford to run a little bit higher wing. And we've got DRS there on the back of Haryanto, who's mirroring there, watching eventually get squeezes. Once again, Haryanto getting very, very borderline dangerous with us here. We're going to go with the outside line there with Jean-Eric Verne, the 2017 World Champion, who gets pinched to the apex. And then we lose momentum there out of the corner. Now we're going side by side then with our championship rival from a couple of years ago. They managed to clear the Frenchman. And then Harry now attacking a teammate Giovinazzi coming into the corner all over the back of Gio as well. Into the break zone. Giovinazzi backs out of the corner. I mean, honestly, I'd have done the same. Because Harry is on the absolute warpath it seems in this race. And then we've actually got Nico Kari. Actually managed to clear there the Renault. So it's been a really poor first 80th lap for Jean-Luc Van, down 3 places. And now we're all over the back here of Gio. I mean, there's no team orders here at Alfa Romeo, and our cars are running completely different setups as well. But hopefully Giovinazzi, he needs to keep with Harriento here through the corners. Honestly, he's got. Honestly, that's what he needs to do. There's no way of getting around it. Through here and through this corner, through that one there, and then the exit here. I lose a lot of time there with my. You know, I'm running higher wings. I'm running more front wing because I was struggling more with honestly. So my rear wing is still relatively low, probably compared to some of the cars around us, which are running maybe a bit higher wing. Now then Gio. And now DRS on the back of Ria Harrianto. Now then we've got Nico Kari looking very interested up the back of us. We can now into turn 1, going to take a defensive line from the fin. Actually going to go for a look on the inside line into the corner. We just managed to sweep him off though. We managed to get a really nice battle actually because Kari pinched himself to the apex. Did that all by himself. That was all his own doing. And that's going to allow Jean-Luc Van to come back in. And of course, Kari's teammate Alex Albon looks to get very interested in this battle now as well. Looking for me, we're going to make it 3 wide. No, he sticks behind the Frenchman. Good decision there from the rookie in only his 10th Grand Prix. I mean, Kari's hardly done any more races. I think this is what Kari's 11th Grand Prix, so it's hardly any more experience, honestly. And now then coming into the corner, we've got Kari. He has a look for where Vern is, but now back in the back of us now. We've got Gio still trying to make a move on Harriento, just can't quite do it though. Just can't quite get the downforce out of the car because Gio is definitely running a lower drag setup than what we are, which means he's running a lot less drag on his car than what Harriento is. But he's sticking, honestly, he's sticking with McLaren well here. Through the corners, I have to say that much at least. And then coming up now into the final 2 corners, which are honestly my favourite 2 corners here on the track. You carry so much speed that it's a blind, you have to commit to the corner as well. And then we're coming now back onto the main straight. I'm actually getting a lot of time here, so Harriento and Gio fighting is definitely starting to slow them up quite a bit. On the run out into turn 1, we've got Vern and Kari going at it once again behind us. But now we're going to have the DRS on the back of Gio, who also has the DRS on the back of Harriento, who crucially doesn't have the DRS on the back of Kobayashi in front. Now there's side between the 2 of them. He managed to make the move on Harriento coming into the corner. Harriento backs out of the move. For once, he's actually going to play fair, but he knows that's not me, and that's our teammate Gio. Then we're going to have DRS though on Harriento. But annoyingly, he now has DRS on the back of Giovinazzi, although Gio is actually pulling away. So the straight line speed of that Alpha is coming into clutch now. As Harriento goes very defensive into the corner. I'm not going to try a bit of a lock on there from the Indonesian, so he's definitely feeling the pressure of us. I mean, Harriento versus myself, one of the more unique rivalries in Formula 1, but he brought this upon himself. And I've now said it loads before, banged on about it loads, but I'm going to keep doing it. He took me out of the lead of the Italian Grand Prix last season, a race that I would have won when I was lapping him as well, so... Yeah, I mean, ultimately, it didn't affect the result of the championship, but you don't Jos Verstappen me. I am not Esteban Ocon and Max Verstappen. It's not Jos Verstappen and, what was it? I think it was Montoya who took out then in the Williams. And still, gaining actually got some cushion on speed, so we've got definitely running less drag than what that McLaren is, because we've got a great run in there through the first corner. And then in the DRS. Getting there on the back. Ria Harrianto still getting on the back now of our team. We've got a double slipstream though on the Indonesian. Going now into the corner. Harrianto squeezed onto the grass here. We have to massively back out of that into the corner there. We almost creep into the back of our teammate. Because having grass on your tyres, unsurprisingly, your car doesn't stop very well. Gio though with some good defending manages to hold it in front then. Ria Harrianto going into the corner once again, gets very, very defensive. And Husky Chocolate sponsor McLaren. You're getting a good view of the screen there for the Husky Chocolate. I've never had Husky Chocolate, never even heard of it before it was on the back of that car, honestly. I mean, comment below, if you've had Husky Chocolate, how does it taste? Because I have no idea. But Gio though, he's definitely slowing us up now, through this middle factory release anyway. Just showing the lack of downforce, well, they say lack of downforce. The difference in downforce setups really, because me and Gio, we're in the same car, since we're teammates, but I've got more downforce on mine. This is the advantage I had through this corner, but now it's going to be an advantage once again back to Giovinazzi. Although it's Harrianto now though, with the straight line speed, getting on the back of our teammate. He actually goes defensive there into turn 1, trying to have a look at the inside line of Giovinazzi, but can't quite get there. She goes really slow there on the apex. And then out of the corner we get a great run here on Harrianto, side by side with Indonesia. He's going to squeeze us again. We managed to just power past the McLaren, just with such superior momentum off the corner. and being faster in a straight line anyway. We're going defensive though into turn 2 because you never know what Harrington's going to do. I mean, it was in the 2015 race here, I got smashed up the rear there by Sebastian Vettel. I was doing the exact same thing, so you're always a bit wary of what could happen there. But now, it's about gaining now on the back, well, he's trying to gain on the back of our teammate then of Giovinazzi. We go now into turn 3, and well, we're going to gain on in through here, but now, honestly, this is where we need to work together a bit and pull away from the McLaren of Harrington behind us. Through a little sector, and I'm nearly 6 tenths down on my best lap, so of course soft tyres, 8 laps around the circuit, which is really high in tyre wear. The tyres will start going off rather quickly. And then midway through lap 10, we're still behind the back of our teammate Gio, and we've pulled a little bit of a gap crucially though over Harrington, so it looks like the low drag setup and my sort of like compromise setup are still geared more towards straight line speed. Seems to be working out really well actually. That's only thing I can say about it, quite honestly. We can now then through the corner, it's a good line through there. Now then we can now through the next one as well. That's all worked out pretty good through there. Now then putting the power down. And again on the back there of our teammate Giovinazzi is come now then on the run into the first corner. Gio goes defensive into the first corner. He's going to go slow there on the apex. He's going to go finish well. I'm to make contact. We've hit the back of our teammate Giovinazzi. We've lopped off there a bit off front wing. Seeing the damage indicator. I've got about midway between needing to pit and not. We managed to make the mistake though on Giovinazzi. Hopefully he hasn't got a punch out of that. He just went so slow on the apex. I was anticipating him to take a slow line and swing out wider, but he sort of like parks it on the apex to try and defend from me as well. So ultimately it's my fault because I hit him, but not really as well because he parked it so much on the apex. I mean the corner was lost at that point. And you see me make the same move on Haryanto, so I know not to drive into the back of my own teammate. And you come down then through the mid part of the lap. Honestly, damage wise, the car feels okay. And I'm actually going quicker. I'm only 2 tenths out, so you know what? I found the answer. I've got less wing now, so I've got more straight line speed, and it's actually working out okay-ish it seems, which I honestly really wasn't expecting. But I'm running out a bit wide through there though, which in turns the opposite side of the damage is where it really affected. So through those corners in and that one as well, running out a bit wide on the curbing. But it's on to lap 14, and we're all behind the back now of Nico Hulkenberg and the Renaults. He's dropped back a little bit from where he started, which isn't really surprising since he did qualify in front of faster cars, which really he shouldn't really have been in front of. But if you're running almost like a 0-0 wings really in that Renault to actually get it into P7 in qualifying, I don't know how he managed to do that. I mean, this race is where he took his 1-0 win as our teammate Giovinazzi is into the pits. Coming in for a very, I don't know if it's very early, but it's an early stop nonetheless because no other team's out on the pit lane. So, are they trying something different, or have our team seen something on the data? Has he got some kind of puncture or something? You can't be set hard tyres though for Gio to go to the end of the race. I don't see why he went on to hard tyres. We've done near enough half the race on the set soft, so surely mediums would make up the difference unless because he's running a super low drag setup. Medium tyres wouldn't have got to the end, so maybe that's why they had to call him early with the tyre wear fears maybe. So honestly, and also it gives him an undercut as well, so you never know. But we're going to be boxing now at end of lap, so we're only going 1 lap further. So committing to the strategy here for what Alfa Romeo were doing, because we're still in the same place that we were, stuck up behind the back. Well, they're not stuck up, but we're keeping equidistant from Hulkenberg from what we were on the previous lap. We've built a good gap then over Haryanto. So now then we're coming into the pits now. Like I said, at the end of this lap, we're going to hug the apex there, so we'll minimise the time, because any little bit of time that you gain, that could be absolutely critical. You never know. It's like a few other people actually reacting then to what. You know what? Alfa Romeo, they've called the stops. Everyone else is coming in right now. Well, at least all the lead drivers in the team are. You've got the Red Bulls, the Ferraris, Toyotas, all that in. For us to say medium size, but no, we've been held in there by the Toro also, and there's a few other cars going past as well. Actually, the Mercedes there, Danny Kvyat, but actually, Kvyat's going to get past me anyway, so I'm not exactly bothered about the Merc being in front of me because he honestly should have been anyway. Although we've got yellow flags though, so I can't get past his race. He's got DRS open as well through a yellow flag zone, which is no way, no. I saw the purple flashing down. George Russell is out of the Grand Prix. The race leader could even on for his first ever win. Once again, he's been denied victory. Again, honestly, he had it in the bag if his car kept working. Because he's got the fastest lap, still, on lap 16. Now we've got Daniel Kvyat now flying the flag for Mercedes-AMG, Mercedes-Benz Formula 1 team. He's currently in P15, albeit people are still yet to actually stop. But yeah, Kvyat, he's Mercedes' only hope. He came into this race for damage limitation, and now it's not just for him, it's for Mercedes Constructors' Championship hopes as well. Everything lies on Danny Kvyat right now. It's all over the back of Rio Haryanto, and Haryanto, I imagine he's not going to want to give this place up too easily, given the McLaren-Mercedes relationship ended, although the Mercedes isn't really a car that Haryanto's fighting, but the good round speed of that McLaren is proving difficult there for Danny Kvyat, and now there's everyone else that then coming out of the pit lane. And I think the yellow flags have cleared. I'm not seeing any marshals waving the flag, so you can make overtakes this time. Coming into turn 2, not close enough to the back of Rio Haryanto. Of course, Haryanto would have had DRS off the back of our teammate Gio in front, so Gio, he's got that good one-lap undercut. Of course, we got held up in the pit lane as well, but he stayed in front of him, so I think I would have been in front of Haryanto. I mean, I definitely would have if it wasn't for getting held up in that, so I would have maintained position, so it worked out, honestly, for how the pit stops worked. It worked out good for Gio. But now then, we're on purple through the first sector, so maybe I might get fast lap, because if no one takes Russell's fastest lap, no one gets fastest lap point, because the fastest lap goes to someone who's in the top 10, and it's not a wildcard point race. I mean, if it was the wildcard race, he'd still get that, but he's not going to in this race. I mean, Green's of Texas, I don't even know what the fastest lap was, because I never really paid attention to it, because in an Alfa Romeo, at least at this point, it's not something we should be going for. Besides maybe at Monza or the two-match sneak. Although we've got Daniel Kvyat on the inside line here, very handy, really squeezing way up into what's getting going so aggressive with absolutely every single car. And actually, I think there may be a little bit of contact there between the two of them. Daniel Kvyat though with the inside line and with the better engine as well. That AMG branded Mercedes engine makes the move stick there on Haryanto. Now we're going to go for me on the inside line of the Indonesia. He's going to lose 2 places here in one straight into the braking zone, going for a dive on the inside line of Haryanto. Almost creaming into the back there of Daniel Kvyat. That was so close. But somehow managed to make it work. I mean, managed to make the move stick there on Haryanto. That is the most satisfying overtake I've done in this Grand Prix. Any overtake on Haryanto is a good overtake. I don't care if it's to get out of last place, if it's for the race win. I mean, I prefer it to be for the race win, but anytime I'm in front of Haryanto, it's not as bad as it could be, put it like that. It could still be a bad race, but that makes it a little bit better. But now then, Daniel Kvyat all over the back then. I want to teammate Giovinazzi on the hard tyres. I think Gio's the only car on hard tyres, so it's going to be interesting to see how that works out for him. He goes, doesn't go defensive into the final corner because Kvyat wisely doesn't try and move, but in the final corner he's going so defensive they slow Kvyat down so much so the winner right on the back of him. We're going to move on the inside line. We've passed Kvyat, and then we're from the inside line of our teammate Giovinazzi as well. Going to be 3 wide now into turn 1. Going to get it off in the corner. Yes, we do. We run out so wide, ridiculous. We lose so much time, and actually here comes Gio to try and come back at us now. And then we've got Daniel Kvyat that's been re-overtaken by Rio Haryanto now. And we've got Hulkenberg just behind, looking to get involved in this fight as well. Going up now into, we're going to squeeze Haryanto, going to repay the favour anyway. He really stinks it through though, on the inside line of us, into the corner side by side. Once again, around the outside line, he doesn't squeeze quite the go. I'm not going to allow him to force me off the track that time. But still though, still side by side here with Rio Haryanto. All of us here with DRS on the back of our team. We've got the radio there looking very sure actually going to try and make a move side by side with Daniel Kvyat. Kvyat going to go from the front of this queue to the back of it in like 2 corners. And he's been overtaking me. Honestly, I bet he just backed out of that. He saw what's going on, and he was probably like, nope, not having any part of that whatsoever. I mean, he's got to think about the championship, so yeah, I'd have probably done the same in that case. But now we've got Vern and Haryanto now going side by side here. And we are good defensively going to block off Haryanto to try and make it so Vern gets through, and he does round the outside line. A brilliant move from the 2017 Drivers' World Champion there to sweep it round the outside line, especially not even in a top car with the Renault isn't, neither is the McLaren either. And now then, this is even better. Yes, overtake Haryanto, point me even further. You just love to see it. Everyone overtaking Rio Haryanto. It's such a good sight, and he manages to block off the Indonesian now as well. So Kvyat finally getting his elbows out now as well. And now then, as we're all over the back there, of our teammate Giovinazzi coming into the corner to try and get around the outside line here of our teammate Gio. Take a wide line in, Kvyat. Gio there keeps himself to the apex, I think, and then backs out of it on corner exit as well. So we probably got the message there from the team radio to let me through at that point, because he's on harder tyres, on slower tyres as well. So now he's going to have to play the rear gunner role. Now looking at the Haas here of Cole and Herta, who's leading the Grand Prix, and he's on softs. Has he not stopped yet? How has he gone this far in a set of softs? This is some bonkers strategy that Haas are trying. Then you got Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari, who's the effective leader of the Grand Prix. Ahead then obviously teammate Vettel, so as things stand it's a Ferrari 1-2 from 8th and 9th on the grid. Followed then by Max Verstappen in the Red Bull, who's having a really good race as well. Ahead then of both of the two Williams. You have Lewis Hamilton, who's dropped back from his grid position of P2 on the grid. Then we have Pierre Gasly in the other Red Bull. And then we have a bit of a gap then back to this fight now. We've got Kobayashi here with Nico Hülkenberg in the Renault right at the back of him. So at some point, despite through all the pit stops, these two is still inseparable. And these two cars here, complete polar opposites. The Toyota good in straight line speed, and all right through the corners, the Renault is probably running a lower drag setup, but it's not so good through the corners. So Hülkenberg, you wouldn't know, he just drove right around the outside line there of the Toyota there of Kamui Kobayashi. And he also has DRS to pull away to us. So a brilliant move, honestly, there from the German, showing his experience, showing why he won this race in 2014, this track. It just seems to gel for him. Kobayashi though coming back now then at the German. And as he's going to have DRS, is he? So no, it's Kobayashi there with the DRS. And we're going to pull back down to the outside line then of Hülkenberg coming into turn 3. Side by side with the German in his 10th year of Formula 1, I think this is. He's been around for a long time. Now then, on to lap 24, it's still Kobayashi up behind Hülkenberg. And now it's Daniel Kvyat, who's managed to get back past that queue of cars. And he's now all over the back of me once again. And he's probably not going to be all too happy about being re-overtaken by an Alfa Romeo. I mean, we both got one win this season, so we're both in race-winning machinery, technically, although Kvyat's car on legitimate pace, mine because I got lucky because it rained. And now then you got Sawasai once again, and once again, Kobayashi just not able to make a move on the other runner of Hülkenberg. But now we've got Daniel Kvyat gaining the back style with that DRS. And actually, because actually didn't have DRS, I wasn't quite close enough, but now it's going to be side by side into turn 2. And Kvyat's going to try and go around that side line. We're going to park it, going to take that wide line and go for a switchback line here on the rush, and we managed to pull it off brilliantly. I mean, to sweep straight back past Daniel Kvyat. And also, we both have DRS for some reason. When we side by side through the detection point, we must have been. But Kvyat though, up the inside line, still we're going to try and stick it here around the outside line. I mean, you never know if it's going to work or not. We're still side by side with Kvyat though, with that downforce, with the good traction for that Mercedes. It's just able to pull it in front of us, but I mean, you don't know if you don't try. And now that should be Kvyat now properly in front of us. And I'm moving further on in this battle still. I've got Sawasai to hook back. Actually, I've got 3 wide now with Daniel Kvyat going for 3 into turn 2. Is this going to work out for someone? It's going to end in tears, but no, they've all managed to actually get around the corner. And we've got Daniel Kvyat actually cleared both of them. Brilliant move there from the Russia. I think honestly we woke him up. Now we're going to try and go 3 wide now again with Hülkenberg and Kobayashi. We've kind of just got a way back out of it. I think better of the move now. Because I was with Hülkenberg on the racing line, racing around the outside line, just about there in this match, getting in front of us. But Kvyat, he's got nothing to lose really at this point. But me being in an Alfa Romeo, I just need points, and points for our championship battle. For what I need to do with Alfa, for what me and Alfa Romeo need to achieve, we just need the points. Because Kobayashi is not a car we're fighting. Hülkenberg, he is a car we're fighting, but he's so engrossed here with Kobayashi that honestly it might just be best to let him get on with his own thing at this point. And then once again, DRS though on the back of the Japanese driver coming into turn 1. Is he close to trying to make a dive? No, he doesn't think about it. And we've got all this is allowing Haryanto, annoyingly, to catch back up to us again. And now once again DRS here for Nico Hülkenberg in the Renault, and Kobayashi goes to the inside line. Hulk's have to try and go a long way around here into the corner. He try and make it see now as we've got Haryanto trying to look for a dive on the inside line of us here into the corner. We just chop off his nose though into the corner. Now it's Hülkenberg with the outside line, with the momentum out of the corner. Although it's Kobayashi there with the DRS and the inside line coming into turn 3. Going to hold it on the inside line under braking. Going to be side by side here between the two of them. Hülkenberg and trying to stick it here around the outside line, but he gets shut out. So Kobayashi there repays the favour for what Hülkenberg did to him earlier on. And now then, still moving further on, still with this battle, Kobayashi's been re-overtaken by Hulk at some point. Well, he's just re-overtaken him again anyway. And now we're going to go for a dive on the inside line here of Nico Hülkenberg. Finally managed to look for an opportunity, going for a massive time under braking, almost hitting to the back of Kobayashi. So he did the same move that we did on Haryanto earlier on. And actually, no, the other McLaren of Lando Norris is actually coming into play now. I haven't seen anything of Norris all race. He's been a bit of a non-factor, really, after his pretty poor qualifying. Hulkenberg, oh, come on, really? Really, Hulk? You had to let Haryanto pass, didn't you? But now, now he's in a McLaren sandwich. And that's... So, Alfa Romeo, McLaren, Renault. All the cars were fighting for 6th place in the championship. And then we have the lead, actually, both the Hasses there right behind, so... They're good straight out of speed. They're not out of the question yet to actually get some points on the board here. I think it's Stroll, though, in front then of Cole and her. We never know, they could actually be on for some good points in this race. Well, say good, some points in this race. But on to lap 35. We're in P10, it's still a Harrington behind us, and we've kept up with Kobayashi, but we've just not been quite there to really challenge him. I mean, we're within DRS range just about, although we've got Haryanto though gaining right on the back of us. They come now then into the final 2 corners for the penultimate time. We get going into the first one, and we get going into the second one. We've been keeping time to Kobayashi. I mean, we're both massively fast in the straight line. I think we're just a little bit faster. But that Toyota with its better downforce and that through the corners, probably better chassis as well, honestly. Now this is where we gained 3-1 that game, but we're now looking on board with the race leader of Max Verstappen in the Red Bull, who's coming now through the final section of the lap. And he's got 2 more corners left to go, 2 more braking zones, and he's actually got a car there right up behind him. I don't know if that's a lapsed car or 2nd place. And then round the final corner now, Max Verstappen coming up now then to the finish line. And it'll be Max Verstappen to win the Austrian Grand Prix and take the first win for Red Bull on home soil.
We did this as a team, guys. Unbelievable. What a race. Oh, I loved it.
Redemption, Max. Absolute redemption from last year. Brilliant race. Brilliant race.
Exactly, and I think the way we fought for it made it even better. Thank you, guys. Great day.
And yeah, like redemption for last year. So yeah, Verstappen never actually had a really good race here last year. And when he comes across line in 10th, we weren't actually that close. But just like it's happened before at Singapore and I think France as well, a bit of my footage just gone, disappeared for no reason at all. So yeah, I would have shown the rest of the lap, but we didn't. Haryanto didn't ever take us or anything. Nothing for us actually really happened on that final lap. But it's Max Verstappen who wins his first race of 2019, his 2nd career win, I think that is. And Pierre Gasly, P7, oh dear, he's kind of been showed up a bit by Max Verstappen in this race. Now then, onto the podium celebrations. Max Verstappen in front of so many Dutch fans as well, because you could have the deal here being a Red Bull driver at the Red Bull ring. And Red Bull, I mean, they had a best. They had a few seconds, I think, in 2018 and 2015 with Danny Kvyat. And then you've got Mick Schumacher there and Verstappen, 2 stars of the future, and also Charles Leclerc as well. It's a podium for the young guns, the up and coming, which we're probably going to have to get used to this side, because this is surely going to be happening for many, many more years to come. Taking a look at the end results, and Max Verstappen takes the victory by just over a second from Mick Schumacher, with Charles Leclerc riding off the podium in 3rd. His teammate Sebastian Vettel finishes in 4th, with Robert Kubica P5 and Hamilton in P6, so dropping back from where he started. And Pierre Gasly, as you saw, finishes in 7th place. Daniel Kvyat, 19th to 9th, 19th to 8th, that's a good recovery. Especially getting ahead of Kobayashi, which is the first of the front running cars which you would have come across. We get some more valuable points for Alfa Romeo in P10, beating out Haryanto, who finishes where he started, with Hulkenberg finishing last of the point scorers in P12. Norris, despite coming into things at the end, couldn't quite make the points, finishing in 13th, ahead of Colton Herta. Their teammate Giovinazzi, P15, the hard tires really not working there. For Gio, we did at least beat 2017 Drivers' World Champion Jean-Eric Vergne. Nico Kari finishes in 17th place, ahead of teammate Alex Albon, with Stroll in P19 quite some way behind, so he probably had some kind of mechanical problem to be that far off of the back of the car in front of him. And George Russell, as we saw, retired from what honestly should have been his first race win. So now moving on to the point standings at the halfway stage of the season. And it's Mick Schumacher with quite the lead, 32 points over Lewis Hamilton. And then Daniel Kvyat in 3rd is now a further 8 points back. Charles Leclerc is still in P4, though losing ever more the touch with the championship lead, with George Russell staying in P5 despite his no score. Max Verstappen gets himself now up into 6th place, 5 points clear of Robbie Kubica, who in turn is 3 points clear now of Kamui Kobayashi. We're 1 point behind the Japanese driver and 16 points clear of Sebastian Vettel, who's in 10th place, with Pierre Gasly down into 11th, with Hulkenberg rounding off the top 12 with 25 points. 8 points further back is Lando Norris, and he's 6 points clear of Jean-Eric Vergne, who's in 14th. David Matsushita and Haryanto joint on 11 points in 15th and 16th, with Colin Herter, Stroll and Nico Kari all on 6 points in 17th, 18th and P19, with Gio in 20th and Alex Albon rounding off the standings in 21st with 1 point. And finally now moving on to the constructor standings, and Williams basically have the same lead in the constructors as what Xiaomi does in the drivers, 32 and 33 points, over Mercedes, who despite their really poor race honestly, just about hold on to second ahead of Toyota. They have Ferrari in third, who are quite some way off the top 3 battle, and they're only just really now ahead of Red Bull in the battle for fourth. Alfa Romeo are in P6 with 20 points now then over McLaren, increasing that gap in this race, also increasing the gap over Renault as well, and they're 3 points behind McLaren. Then Haas remaining 9th on 12 points, with Toro Rosso bottom on 7. So remember to vote for your driver of the day with a poll link that'll be in the video description. Also check out the wiki for this season as well, so you will know about all the teams, all the drivers for this season, past seasons as well, past drivers, everything since this championship began in 2014. That'll all be on the wiki here as well if you want to go check that out. Also remember to give me a follow on Twitter and Instagram. They'll be linked down below in the description, along with the 4 livery mods that I use, because I got the F1 game here on PC. So if you have as well, I have the link there to the race department livery mods. So that'll be the blue Williams livery, the BWT livery on the Toyota, which is actually the Racing Point. Then you have the S2V Esports livery on the Alfa Romeo, and the White Bikes Haas livery. So yeah, get them downloaded if you want to use them for yourself. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.